This is Cory Ruefer, and we're going to be doing the sales language starting with the introductory talk. So what are you doing these days, Cory?
Well, Joe, I've known you for a little while now.
Yeah.
And you know how most people are concerned about saving for the future and paying for their bills today?
Oh, yeah,
Is that a concern for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do. I help people to be able to plan for the future and to budget for today.
That makes sense.
Is that something that you'd be interested in talking to me about?
Absolutely.
Good. Well, I like to help people to develop a lifelong plan.
Okay.
For themselves. So I would need to be able to get together with you at some point to really develop this for you.
Oh, it makes sense.
Would you be interested in meeting with me, say Tuesday or Thursday next week?
Thursdays are the best day for us. I can probably do something in the evening.
The evening's good for you?
Yeah.
So what time would you say?
Let's say 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, that's good for me.
Sounds good.
I'll put it down and I'll meet you next Thursday.
All right, thanks.
Hi, Joe.
Yep, hi.
How you doing? Hey, thanks for taking time to sit with me today. Hey, one of the first questions I always like to ask people is, what does financial security mean to you?
Well, for me, it means having money in the bank, because you know stuff's going to happen. When we got 2 kids, and you just know things are going to come up. And then also, having the ability to have enough money to pay down debts. I mean, we have student loans and things like that. To be able to do both those things, I think, would be financial security.
Sure. You want to be able to provide for your family today and long term, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, that's exactly what we do. We put a plan together for people that, because you have dreams, for your future, and you have to take care of your family today.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that we put a plan together for you that you can provide for your family, pay your bills, and build your financial security for the future.
Makes sense.
So, considering what we offer, if we look at this, what is the things that you want to have help with the most?
Well, I guess I'm not sure yet, so I'm open to kind of learning about all of them.
Okay.
So, good. Sounds good.
That's what we'll do. Well, I always believe that none of us expect to die soon. We just don't think that that's going to happen.
Right.
But it does. If you were to pass away, how would you provide for your family based on what your current financial situation is?
Man, if I died, I think we'd be in a triangle. I have a little bit of life insurance and some benefits to work, but it'd be tough for my wife.
Yeah. Well, it always is. 7 out of 10 U.S. families with children under 18 would have trouble paying their bills within a month or two if you were to pass away.
That's crazy.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What we do is we provide a solution for this for you.
Yeah.
That fits in your budget. We have a wide range of affordable options that exist to protect your family and loved ones against life's uncertainties. And those are life insurance, or disability insurance, and long-term care insurance.
Absolutely.
Does that seem to make sense to you?
Absolutely, covering all the risks. Yeah.
So that's our protection aspect that we do. Saving money, it doesn't just happen by accident.
Yeah.
It takes planning and discipline and systematic savings to accomplish those goals.
That makes sense.
What are you doing right now for that?
Well, we put a little bit of money away when we have it, but we don't really have a clear, defined plan on how to really accomplish it.
Okay. If you have your savings set aside, what are you saving that for? What is the goals for that?
For us, it would be. I think of an emergency fund is the first and foremost. What if if I lost my job, my wife is at home, having that money built up. Also, with having kids, you just never know when something's going to happen, and you have to pay for something, or they end up in the emergency room, or whatever. You just never know what's going to happen. So, and then I think when we get that accomplished, I think the next goal to check off the list would be to start to develop a college plan for them.
A college plan is important. Yes. So you don't have any goals maybe to buy a rental property or anything like that, but you want to make sure that you have, taken care of for unemployment or disability and for the college plan. That's really what your goal is, right?
I would say those are really the ones at the forefront of my mind, yeah.
Okay. Well, the first part to creating this is a strategy that works for you, and it's to have financial independence. We recommend putting aside 10% of your annual income a year into your savings plan, whatever that may be, and we'll determine that later. How do you feel about the ability to do that?
I think 10% would be hard, but I think it would be something worth discussing, figuring out if we can make that work.
Would you feel if you were putting 10% aside, how would that make you feel? Would you be excited about that? Like at the end of the year? I mean, you just
absolutely
feel cool about that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I want to talk about is when we start delving into this further, is your risk. How do you feel about risk?
I'm okay with risk. I mean, when I look at my 401k, I'm very aggressively invested. I just turned 30, so I feel like I have time to be aggressive.
Do you worry about risk of loss?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Obviously, kind of depends on what I'm saving for, I guess.
Okay. But because particularly with your kids, as you go into college, there aren't a whole lot of years there, so we should talk about that. The cost of waiting, when we look at this graph here, you're in between these two pillars right here, and you can see the difference if you don't start doing it now. This is just to get a goal of $150,000 at age 65. So you're about let's say $130 that you need to put aside to match that, to get that number, right? Get that number done.
That makes sense.
And you can see as you move on, it really accelerates really fast.
So gotta get on.
So it's important.
Absolutely.
To make this plan.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Today, most people are very concerned about two things when they get into retirement.
Mm-hmm.
One is saving enough money for the retirement, and the second is outliving the money that you've saved. Because we're living longer and longer. Our healthcare is getting better and better, and and expenses are going higher.
Absolutely.
We have your Social Security is under risk.
Mm-hmm.
That might be something to consider. We absolutely know our medical costs are going to be going up in the future. And we have your company. Do you have a pension?
We just have a 401k.
Yeah, and that's
so a lot of people. Yeah, I know a lot of people that retire now have both, but companies don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. So I always tell you, make sure you take care of your 401k and your matching on there, but your pension is probably not there. So that means that you need to set up your own retirement plan. So basically, you're going to set up your own pension through an IRA and your 401k and maybe some stocks and things like that. So you want to look at that.
You got to do more just to get the money you need since a little more. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we got to make a systematic plan.
Mm-hmm.
When you do retire,
mm-hmm.
at let's say 65,
mm-hmm.
another question that comes up is how long are you going to live, and how is that going to be funded? How is that going to be distributed to you? We have plans that will make sure that you don't outlive your money. Yeah, it is, and we'll customize a plan for you so that it works for you and your family and within your budget.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And we can provide that income for life.
Very good.
Okay. With estate planning, do you have? It's not just for the wealthy. You should also consider who you want to leave all your money to, no matter how much it is. I mean, that's very important for you to do.
Absolutely.
Who should get your estate? Who should? What should they get, and when should they get it? With my kids, that's another thing that's like, I don't want my kids, if, my wife passes away or I pass, or both of us pass away, I don't want them to just have a lump sum.
Right.
We got to make a plan on how they get it so they don't, just blow it.
Right, you gotta.
If you think about those things, it's going to be better managed.
Yes,
right.
And that's very important to do now. And so we'll work with you develop this, and we'll put you in touch with the proper attorneys
Okay.
that know this
Mhm.
and are very good at it.
Sounds good.
So we make a holistic plan for you.
That sounds good.
You're not a business owner,
No,
no.
but I know you guys do that, which is cool.
We do, yeah, that's another part. We do business planning. So if people have a business and they want to have a succession plan, you know, like how they're gonna sell their business. If they're partners and one of the partners were to pass away, we have business planning for that. And we also have, employee benefits. So we have ways that, we can provide for the business employees to have 401ks, medical insurance, you know, dental, 401ks, and mutual funds and things. So we work with businesses quite a bit, to develop that. And it helps them avoid taxation, and it just makes a good plan for the business. Just like I'm talking to you about making a good plan for your family. A business is another family, because you got other people there. So we do that also.
That sounds good.
Well, in planning for your secure financial future, it takes a lot of careful thought. Out of all of our planning, all our planning areas, when we look at this pie chart, which ones are most concerning to you today?
I would say
The first we have the taxing, savings, and retirement. Those are things that we're doing a little bit, but we could do a lot better. So.
Well, and you're not alone. That's most people. It starts out with the protection is the most important. Then it comes to planning, and then retirement. But they all need to come together in a cohesive plan.
Makes sense.
Because you know, I've heard people say things like, "I'm insurance poor," which you know it seems strange. But the reason they say that is because they don't have a cohesive plan together for their whole life. And that doesn't not mean that this plan is not going to change next year, but we need to make a plan today for today, and we will change it as your life changes.
Makes sense.
Would you like to sit down with me a little bit further and collect information so that we can put a good plan together for you and your family?
that sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
So this is Cory doing the circle discussion.
Hi, Joe. How are you today?
Good, good.
Hey, Joe, I would like to, first of all, thank you for the time that you've given me.
Absolutely.
And as you know, that my passion is to help people financially to reach their dreams and their goals.
Absolutely.
And by building this relationship between you and I, do you have some other people that you would like to share these values with that I can help them? Do you?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
The best clients that I have are people that are referrals. And to me, referrals are not just names that you would throw out there to me. They are people that you know and love and respect.
Absolutely.
So we have a program here, and we have a circle of friends. You know, so we have family, extended family, we have work, and we have social people.
Right.
And there's, we all have, far-flung people we know. What I'm asking you for is, would you be willing to give me the names of people that you think that would benefit from my services that are in your inner circle?
Absolutely.
That they are in your social, your family, your work, an extended family that you think that would do well for me to visit with them.
Absolutely. I'll give you some people here, some people here, and we can move on.
Well, the other thing that is very important when you get referrals, because a lot of companies and a lot of people that ask for referrals, they just want to get, some names. What I'd like you to do, if you could, the people that you write down for me, could you please give them a call and let them know that I would be calling them and what I do? Because people don't like to get just calls, random, calls, from somebody who they think is just a salesperson.
Absolutely.
And as you know, I'm not just a salesperson. I work with you holistically in all your financial planning.
Absolutely.
So if you could, I would really appreciate it if you would just be able to call them and say that Cory is going to be calling you to talk about this. I worked with him. He's helped me, and that would be that would make a big difference.
Absolutely,
I
that
would
makes
really
sense.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And again, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your trust that you've placed with me and Modern Woodman.
Absolutely. Sounds good.